Hmm. I tricked you. I actually can talk, and my audio is fine. And it was all a joke. This is the welcome to the uh, the Krieg has wet hair birthday stream. No, it's no, it's not. I see all the chat comments coming in, going, "Oh, rip sound." No, it's not rip sound. I'm just a prick. Thank you all very much for being here and for wishing me a happy birthday. That was basically this the first question that people had is how old am I now? And I am now a nice round 26. 26 years young, I should say. I always think old. I have this, like, ever since my 21st birthday, I've been of the opinion that I'm basically an 80-year-old. But I am actually young, it turns out. That's actually the true fact of the matter, is that I am a young man still. Even though I am 26 now, since today. So I think I'm beginning the 27th year of my life at this point then, because I completed the 26th one. Yes, it is actually my birthday. I know. I know that like 2 years ago or something, I did a joke stream where I said it is not my birthday today, and everybody was like, "Hey, happy birthday, motherfucker!" And it's like, dude, it's the stream literally says it is not my birthday, but no, this today is actually my real 26th birthday, for real. Cheers. I'm breaking my intermittent fasting today to drink one single Kilkenny beer because it's my favorite beer. So cheers on that. And yeah, it's interesting because I shall be fielding questions later, of course. It's interesting because uh, it's COVID, right? And last year, like I at this time, we were like aware of coronavirus. Like I was at least. It was, of course, like in China, it was already like ravaging Wuhan and all that. But like at least here in Germany, we were like, okay, it exists, but we weren't really giving it much thought. And to then consider that at this point it's been almost a year in this like COVID hell, it's kind of interesting that I think everybody gets a birthday, at least one COVID birthday. Some unfortunate people are gonna get two COVID birthdays, which is very sad. But I'm pretty sure it's only gonna be one for me, and that's pretty great. Let me actually check something that I may have forgotten. That might be pretty important. Okay, okay, okay. That's good. Okay, I'm sorry. Some weird stuff going on. Excellent. Yeah, sorry. Sorry about that for a second. Um, I've been fasting AKST for 14 hours of actual stuff that requires discipline. What are you fucking the discipline police? Yeah, I eat only for like 8 hours a day. I don't sleep for 14 hours a day. That's a bit much. Mm, and it's been pretty good. Like I've been losing like a kilo a week, which is pretty great. And I've also just it's not even about the weight loss anymore because it's weird because like on one hand you don't I have become less hungry. I still enjoy eating but I eat fewer meals, and so with every meal that I eat, I put more work into it, right? Because it's a more valuable meal. I'm all about flavor and shit. So I've actually begun to cook a lot more because I'm thinking, well, I got to make this count. Um, so that's pretty dope. It'll get better in Germany before it does in the USA. That may very well be possible. But listen, I don't want to. I wish we could all get better as soon as possible. Um, Joy is saying Fad Zayol Agat. I can only agree with that. I wish I could sleep for 7 hours a day. What do you mean? Do you sleep more than that, or do you sleep less than that? Because I mean, I sleep for like 9 hours a day. I need 9 hours of sleep. If I'm like underneath that, I'm fucked. Have you thought of shaving the mustache part of your beard like Abraham Lincoln? Not really. Although, like, the mustache bit is the one that irritates me the most. Like, I give it a lot of attention. I got like beard scissors and shit. So it's always very well trimmed and it never goes over the lip and all that. So it doesn't irritate me. It requires a surprising amount of work to really keep your beard neat. So it's pretty great that I have like this time in quarantine where nobody can see me be a complete fuck up. Because it's not like I'm on video once a week, you know. Fucking. Past kidney stone, get to watch Burger Stream. Happy day, tremendous. I hope that wasn't too painful. The whole kidney stone passing. I have heard it can be pretty bad. Your birthday is an anniversary of the end of the Mexican-American War. Well, it would be funnier if it would be the anniversary of the beginning of the Mexican-American War. That would be a lot funnier. Looking forward to the Mass Effect. Holy shit, my man! I saw that. That was the real. I saw that trailer today, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I cried a little bit, not a lot, but holy shit. Mass Effect, I think, is the last good BioWare game. This like the Mass Effect is from a time when like games published under EA had a potential to still be good. That's like a huge deal in retrospect. It is insane. The Mass Effect thing, I'm so excited for it. Genuinely. Even like I know that this is just gonna be the same games but with better graphics, but that's enough for me. Mass Effect to me is so immensely important. Now I know how like all these 40-year-old Gen X dads feel when some new Star Wars shit comes out because they're like, "Oh, this is my childhood." This is how I feel about Mass Effect. Like that really improved my day significantly. Actually, it's pretty fucking good. Um, Thoughts about the Burmese coup? You know what you should do is whatever I do the answer here, you should swap it with how I talk about Mass Effect. Going, oh yeah, the Burmese coup. Oh, that's pretty fucking lit. That really made my day. I don't know a lot about the Burmese coup, but it seems to me as though I will go out on a limb here, and my educated self will say it's probably not great when military folks try to take control over a government that is like democratic. That kind of feels weird to me. Uh, um, it kind of feels strange. You're still quarantined in Germany. Are you not the person who asked this question? Are you not the person that I think you are? Because I'm pretty sure I know who you are. So, you you should you should know that I'm still like quarantined up in this bitch. Fucking. Yeah. I'm already. Yeah. It's. Yeah. I don't know. The weird thing about the Burmese coup is just I just saw the video of the woman doing aerobics, and there's just like tanks driving the background. She just doesn't notice, and I'm like. The timeline does not cease at all. Um, mm, should I buy Mass Effect so I can get your Mass Effect references? Yes, I genuinely, I every time I have like I make a lot, I compare a lot of things to Mass Effect, and when people don't get it, I'm like, are you serious, my friend? So Soul is officially not the person that I think they are. I thought they were another person, but they are not. Damn. Um, I can't like. There's a lot of questions that I am not gonna get to because I'm just gonna miss them because there's a lot of chat going on. So I'm sorry if I can't get to your question. Mm, uh, Can we start blasting off Gen X just like boomers, or they're not old enough yet? No, the thing about Gen X is that they're not like, they didn't do anything massively wrong. I feel like the legacy of Gen X is going to be a positive one, at least culturally speaking, because like not only did they have a lot of good music, but it's also like I think they sort of legitimized enjoying child things as an adult, which to me is a very important thing. Because it's this weird fucking notion that as soon as like you're 18, you're no longer allowed to enjoy life. It's just for dumb shit. Or you have to be like ironic about it, and I think that's a very good legacy to have. And they also did, like, of course they didn't fix climate change, but they're a lot better on it. I have a good American style Chinese food over in Germany. I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. There are a lot of anti-maskers in Germany compared to other. I don't know about compared to other places, but there's certainly quite a few anti-maskers here. I mean, they did try to storm the German Reichstag building at some point, but unlike in the US, the German police actually managed to hold them off. The Citadel DLC is honestly my favorite thing about 3. I didn't like it. I have to be honest with you. I feel. I maybe these days I'd feel differently about it, but when I first played it back then, it felt so. That it was tonally so different because it was a really serious plot, but it was done in a way that was like very lighthearted, and that's something that is a very personal like pet peeve of mine. I hate it when that happens. This like Christmas episode. I don't like Christmas episodes because they usually have like very serious plots, but they do is like, hey, it's fun Christmas time. A child just died. Yeah, it's kind of fucked up. Don't forget the Dune board game. What? I'm sorry. Okay, this is a conversation I probably probably missed. Fucking. There's a Panda Express in Germany. I don't know if that's the case. Gen X should be like late 30s, 40s, 50s is around about Gen X. I'm not good at math, so, but yeah, they're like slowly entering middle age now. Bye, Kashi. Have you played I'm sorry. Have I played Cities Skylines? Let me look at how many hours of Cities Skylines I have logged on Steam. Oh yes, it's 218 hours of yes, I have played Cities Skylines. I love that game. It's a great game. I'm kind of burnt out on it at this point. I wish what I really want, right? I want like a oh god, what is happening with my what is happening with my webcam? I'm sort of anytime I touch my desk, it just goes fucking ballistic. God damn. What I'd really like to see is like the successor of City Skylines to do a thing where, because the whole, what I'd like to see is basically that you don't have like a preset set of houses that are in a particular style, but that it sort of tries to use maybe like a trained neural network to generate houses in a certain style that makes sense. So it makes these like small models on the fly. And maybe it can give your city a very unique character by, you introduces certain elements. Maybe it like also grows them as you build the city, and there's certain architectural elements. You know that like how there's cities that have a very unique style where certain for instance, Amsterdam. I mean, obviously other parts of the the coast of the Netherlands have similar elements, but like this whole thing where in Amsterdam, because the houses are like very narrow and the stairwells are very narrow, so you have outside these big hinges. And these very very large windows in these houses, with which you can like pull up furniture and pull it into the houses. You can most of the time, most furniture you can't really fit it up the stairwells in houses in Amsterdam, and you could have like very like organically grown through like neural networks things that do that, and where you have like a lot more architectural. Like you can actually have like unique buildings in a way that that's something I really want. I'd really like to see that, where you could, you don't plop down a hospital, but you designate something as a hospital zone, and then it grows a hospital there in like a certain style that you've defined. I was thinking about that literally today, while I was like walking through town. Mm, um. Okay. What's your most played game on Steam? Mine is Team Fortress 2. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm gonna say it's probably City Skylines. Um. Let me look. Uh. No, actually, it's Sid Meier's Civilization 5 with 282 hours, followed by Starbound with 266 hours, then City Skylines, and then it's XCOM 2 with 213 hours. So, as you can tell, I'm really into turn based strategy games. Um, I actually love those. The webcam is going to explode again. The webcam is actually one of the few things that has always worked rather. I mean, not always. It has hiccups every once in a while. You played Stellaris. Yes, there was a phase where I was very into Stellaris, and I wish that in Stellaris it would also have the thing with the City Skylines procedural like neural network generation of things. Except there, it's for alien species, and I'd like to see a. You know how in Spore you had the spaceship that you flew around in? I want that, but it's not. The rest of the world doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? The rest of the world is the. Wait, no. What am I saying? The empire management aspect doesn't exist. Uh, this pear-shaped homo for us. Thank you, Cito. That's still one of my favorite comments of all time. Mm, I've wanted sort to make everything look like modern day South Korea. Yeah, that's really cool. For instance, I'd like just something like that to come like organically with the thing. What's the most fucked up thing you've done in Stellaris? Honestly, I'm not one of the kinds of players who does fucked up things in their games. I try to be like nice. I try to do good things in the games. I don't like. I would never go. I don't have, for instance, I don't have the natural disasters thing even installed because I don't think it like adds much to the game. I was always like this. I never liked like breaking shit in these games. Yeah. Binding of Isaac. Oh, that's I know some people who play that. When did you drink your first beer? What do you mean? Today? That's my first one today. My first beer as a kid. I'm gonna. It was probably 14 though. Unironically, I was gonna say I'm gonna lie and say it's 14. No, I think it was 14. Mm. Opinion on Scottish independence. You love to see it. But personally, I don't know enough about the subject matter to actually have an informed opinion about it. It's the same as my uninformed opinion about Catalonian independence, which is you love to see it. Should do a City Skylines video. Probably not. So much I want in Stellaris. I should get back into playing Stellaris. I should like uninstall all of my mods and try it again to like play it raw. Somebody like invited me to like a Stellaris game, so maybe Spore. Spore. I really want more Spore. Yeah. Spore but Elite Dangerous. Yes. Yes. Exactly that, Priest. That is the perfect description of what I want. And like in Elite Dangerous, I'm not going to do combat missions. I'm just going to do trucking around the galaxy. I haven't played Stellaris in a really long time, so I couldn't tell you. You haven't made slavers space vampire Nazis. No, I haven't. I don't understand people who play games with character creators and make purposely absurdly ugly characters. Yeah, I don't like. I get making those, right? But I don't get like playing with them. Um, but I'm also like, I also don't. When I have that, I also like don't create characters where they're like me. I've never created myself in a game. I always play like even in terms of like how I play the characters, I always play them in like a different fashion. Um, I always roleplay, and I've been thinking about making when like the new Mass Effect comes out. I am still. I don't know which one. If I'm gonna just do Garrick again, which was my very first chapter. He was really cool. He was like a bold black guy with like blue eyes, and he had like this the very cool scar just here, very subtle but also very visible. And then I'm not gonna spoil Mass Effect for anyone, but I was pretty mad when he didn't have the scar anymore. Mm, mm. Or if I'm just gonna do like a Gideon Shepherd. But it feels so weird to name like characters after my shelf. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll go with one of my other names so it doesn't feel as cringe, and just call him Mikhail Shepard. Hello, my name Mikhail Shepard, the space communist. What's happening with EVE Online? I want to play Stellaris. Wait a month or two. New big updates coming out. That should change a lot. Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna fucking wait for that then. I was just default to the Imperium of Man and Stellaris Force Famine. I always play more like the UN Space Council. That's a big one for me. Tell me you never created yourself in The Sims? No. Wait. No, actually, I did once. But he didn't have my name though. I kind of created, like, I made him sort of look like me, and I kind of pretended he was me. I must have been like 16 years old. But I didn't give him my name to have, like, a layer of plausible deniability. Only game where I've made myself is RimWorld. Well, I am actually in RimWorld. There is a character. I had like the backer tier where you get your name inserted into the game, and so my name is actually in RimWorld. How did you feel about an electrician simulator game, a grand strategy where you manage to expand a power plant empire? I'm not really personally interested in electrician stuff, but it might be interesting. I think I played 80 hours of Oblivion as a character that I made by turning up all the sliders and face creation to go all the way up. Heinzke, you disappoint me so much. God damn it. Would you consider streaming your playthrough of the Mass Effect remake on Twitch? I have thought about that, but then I was like, I like playing single player games on my own. What I am thinking about though, because I had an idea a while ago about a setting that, like a tabletop RPG setting, that it's not necessarily, it is the Mass Effect setting, but it's the Mass Effect setting like 100, 200 years after the games are over. And I know there's a lot of people in the chat who haven't played Mass Effect, so there will not be any spoilers in the chat about what happens. I might run something like that, maybe even on Twitch. But there's so many RPG projects that I have, so I'm not sure that I'm actually going to do it. Thank you for loving my videos. Thank you very much for that. Take on Battletech. I don't need to play Battletech because I have Lancer. Lancer is just Battletech, but it's better. Like, the design of Lancer is better than Battletech. Unless you have extreme autism. Fucking... You ever played MTG? Actually, right there's a box with about 1,000 euros worth of Magic the Gathering cards that I haven't opened in like 2 years. Least favorite drum solo? Well, that is a question that I can answer. It is the drum solo from fucking Ryu Fukui's wait, what's it? Autumn Leaves? No, it's not Autumn Leaves. Wait, what? I need to. I'm not opening Spotify in my other window and looking at my liked songs. That's not something that's happening right now. You can completely trust me that is not something that I'm doing at this point in time. And also, well, that's fucked because he's... wait, what? early summer, not autumn leaves. The early summer from the 1976 album Scenery by Ryo Fukui. That drum solo that happens at the end, even though it's a very good song, that is by far my least favorite drum solo. Even though I'm not generally opposed to drum solos. The Expanse did very Mass Effect the last 2 seasons, and I'm still unsure about how I feel about that. I'm not sure that's. I mean, they do some Mass Effect things, right? But those are like just sci-fi tropes, I think, and they do them in a very different manner to Mass Effect. How far does Andromeda take place after Mass Effect 3? I think it's 200 years, but look, Andromeda isn't real. It never, and Mass Effect Andromeda is not something that happened. Ever. It doesn't have. Didn't the Expanse get? Yeah, the Expanse. That was a clickbait headline. The Expanse. The headline was the Expanse got cancelled, but they left a gift, and basically they cancelled the show after it was done. They said, yeah, you're gonna get like 3 more seasons. I think it's 3 more seasons, including the one that's running now. You're gonna get those seasons. No, actually, it should be like 4. If I'm looking at the books now, yeah, it should be a few more than that. But like after the books are done and they're done with plot from the books, the show is gonna get cancelled. So when it ends, it's gonna get cancelled. Yeah, I just wanna point that out. Have you played Eve Echoes yet? I have no idea what that is, but it sounds kind of cool. Titanfall over Lancer, to be honest, although that's because being able... Is there a Titanfall tabletop RPG? And also, that's something you can do in Lancer. You can just get out of your mech and unload a clip from a full auto 1911 into someone. That's completely something that's possible in Lancer. You can do it. It's a good game. I highly recommend it. I actually play a round of it right now. I am a character in a Lancer game. It's not a good drum solo. Fucking favorite superlative. You fucking prick. This is someone who knows my channel pretty well. He's been on more than one Q&A live stream. Damn. I'm very concerned about far right groups. I love just the complete whiplash of topics in this. Very concerned about far right groups in Nordic and Western Europe. Do you think I should be, or are they nothing to lose sleep over? I mean, they're certainly not nothing to lose sleep over, but I think one of the biggest things that like neoliberals have accomplished is that to like make leftists think that the far right is the biggest danger to the freedom of people in the West, and that is just really not true. It's very much actually fucking like neoliberal bullshit, and like the continued existence of neoliberal bullshit is fueling far right groups because they get to be populist, because like even though leftists should be extremely populist, like they fail at doing so. I'm licensing the drum solo to take it as the intro to a podcast, and you can't stop me. Actually, I can stop you. I will call up Ryo Fukui and say, I am on this podcast and I think that this drum solo is very bad. Please do not do it. And he will say something in Japanese, and I'll say, I'm sorry, I don't speak Japanese. But the thing that he said in Japanese was, sorry, I don't speak English. Is the sock on your microphone a comm sock? No, and I do not have a comm sock. I've never had a comm sock. Fucking... What is happening? Dwarf Fortress is a pretty neato game. I am still waiting for the Dwarf Fortress to come out on Steam with nice graphics. I'd really love to play it. That was critter with a superlative. Oh, of course. That makes sense. If DF had a time counter, I would be afraid to know how much time I lost to that game. DF what? Draw Fortress. Yes, of course, that makes sense. Rio Fukui Da. Well, I'm gonna do necromancy. Why do you think leftists are god awful at populism? I have my own opinions, but I piqued my interest. Well, I see. I think, and this is something that leftists generally don't like to hear, but I think that leftists have, like, by and large, leftists have a sort of disdain for the working class because leftists are very intellectual and tend to be, like, very highly intellectual and educated people. A lot of leftists are middle class, and they don't, like, a lot of leftists aren't even really leftists. That's a whole different issue. I think that's also something that neoliberalism has accomplished, where a lot of leftism is actually a lot of the things that are sold as leftism. A lot of the focus of leftism is on identity politics, when that really, I mean, sure, that should be a leftist issue, but it's by far not the most important one. And it's being used, like, almost exclusively as a justification to do dumb neoliberalist bullshit. But I think that there is and this is hardly a new idea, right? I think that there big parts of the left has a certain disdain for the working class because the working class is rowdy. It's you know, it's a plebeian. It's the proletariat. They're prolets. They don't read fucking Marx and shit. They want actual real stuff. They don't like academics. They don't read theory because only nerds read theory. And I think that this is especially among middle class fucking leftists. There is, I think that many of them, especially when they're young people, full of, like, energetic potential to change the world, they're much more interested in seeing the heads of the bourgeoisie roll than they are in seeing the lives of the working class improved. Because that's something that gets them off emotionally a lot more. Because breaking shit is easier and more rewarding in the short term than putting in the extremely hard, arduous, and frustrating work of constructing a society. Yeah, so that's just a short summary of what I believe on that. Priest GF is surprised by my beard. What? I'm sorry. How is the beard surprising? You can easily put graphics in Dwarf Fortress. No. You don't understand. If I can't try doing things with technology, my computer will explode. It's not possible. Please don't suggest this to me, because I will try it. I am a big proponent of UBI. Have you ever had trouble with addiction? No. Which is weird, because I had the kind of upbringing that, like, if you ask people with addiction, they're like, you know, how did you get brought up? And they basically describe a lot of the things that also apply to my life. And even though I have, rather extensive experience with drug, I mean, rather extensive, it's decent. I have never had an addiction problem because I don't have an addictive personality. But I do think it's very important that I always had the attitude that I don't take drugs to cope. I take drugs to, like, expand my horizon. Oh, thanks, Guppy. Thank you for saying hi and happy birthday again. We already talked today. You think that today aesthetics is more important than political success than having good ideas? I don't think that's the case. I fear that's the case. You watch Vaush, not really, so I can't really talk about him very much. Theory's gay, practice is also gay. This is the real problem for leftism. This is a very good summary. No. Working class people do not tend to be conservative. They just think they're conservative because, like, massive neocon think tanks have propagandized to them that the things that they believe are conservative. So Zaleson's take: leftists have made an identity out of being intellectually superior, and, like you said, they sort of depend on the continuation of problems. Free and equal proles render them obsolete, and that's not. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that they're not interested in improving things, because they don't have like an intellectual superiority over the working class. They have an intellectual superiority above like the right. That's what they have their intellectual superiority over. And let's be honest, it's true. It just okay. There wasn't actually a sound there. It's actually true. Like they are intellectually superior to the right wing. Um, yeah. The Steam release of fucking Dwarf Fortress is gonna have very nice graphics. Yeah, a lot of people were surprised. I did that during November, and I realized this is actually kind of nice. What beer are you drinking? I am drinking a nice Kilkenny. This is legitimately my favorite beer. I like a lot of different beers, but this one is absolutely my like when it comes to like commercial brand beers. That you can buy pretty much anywhere in the world. I mean, I don't know how, but this is, you can buy it a lot of places. Mm, I was an leftist when I was an edgy teenager. Now I'm an egoist with syndicalist qualities. Usually, that's the thing that edgy teenagers are. No disrespect to you. Um, um, da, da, da. How do you know you're not using them to cope? Wouldn't that be a lie you could be telling yourself? Absolutely, it could be. But the trick is to not take drugs when I feel bad. Like right now, I am in a completely fictional alternate reality that isn't actually the real reality. I may or may not have wacky tobacco edibles literally within arm's reach at all times while sitting in this very chair, and I haven't taken any in a very long time because I just don't have. Like I think, oh fuck, I need to work today, so I can't. So I can't fucking take any drugs. I don't like doing that. Buy yourself the penile expansion pump you've been wanting for a while. Yeah, actually, that was a gift for you, though. I'm sorry that like slipped through, that you received that information. But that was supposed to be a birthday gift for you, Cito. Thank you very much for the €5, though. Boom, got him. Kilkenny can't compete here at home and as well abroad. Dude, I was gonna go to Ireland last year. I would love to go on vacation to Ireland, and you can show me the best beers. I would absolutely be up for that, because I like Irish beer in general. Um, um, it's a false generosity that Paulo Freire speaks about, even pedagogy of the oppressed. I have not actually read that. Let me Google that name real quick so I can put it on my list when the stream is over. There we go. There's some, I don't know what Copperback is. What are your top 5 N words? What is your opinion on the trending online toxic online communities like BreadTubes and the skeptics atheists? They've always been around. They're always going to be around. I certainly consider myself part of I called it the skeptosphere, not the skeptic community, because it's hardly a community. But I was part of like the skeptics. A lot of people consider me part of BreadTube, which I'm not. I'm not sure I watch anyone who is on BreadTube. Really, I just don't care. I like some people and I don't like other people, and usually it doesn't really matter to me. But generally, I stay away from drama in toxic spaces. I don't like it. I don't have the time for it, and I find it very like emotionally stressful. So I just sort of extricate myself from it. Randomly found out my coworker on Twitter, and it turns out he ran for office in our local constituency, and also I follow him on Twitter. Who is this? Who is this person? How do you stand growing a beard? After 3 weeks, it gets too annoying and itchy, so I just shave it. That's the trick. You have to get... See, because this is what I did last time. I tried to grow one earlier this year during the quarantine, and after like 3 weeks, I was like, fuck! fuck, and it looked terrible too because it was like even a bit patchy, and so I shaved it off. But in November I said no, I'm gonna do the whole month. And there is a point, especially if you get like beard oil that you use for your beard. There's a point where it stops being itchy. Like it still itches sometimes, but it gets a lot better as the beard achieves a certain length. Which is something that I did not know. Saucer, my man, said, has anyone really been far even as decided to use even go want to do look more like? I do believe that is true. Yes, I do believe that is in fact the case. Is it okay for me to brand spanking new website an ego month here? If not, I will chill by super chat. I mean, I won't say no if you chill by super chat. The working class may not actually hold conservative beliefs by their nature, but for practical purposes, the working class actively practices conservative politics. I don't think that's something I want to like tear apart on stream. Open up and like look into what's under the hood of that statement. The thing of joining the French Foreign Legion, anything you can tell me about France or French people? Yeah, don't join the French Foreign Legion. Why would you do that? The French Foreign Legion is badass, but don't talk about it in public, my man. That's kind of this. I think in most countries it's illegal to do that. But if you get injured in combat, you get French citizenship. So Dylan Littell said, have you ever heard of Vermin Supreme? And if so, thoughts? I have heard of Vermin Supreme. I think Vermin Supreme is pretty fucking funny. How does Gunwood get a good grade on the Jewish question? If you laugh at it, that's how you do it. To be a bread tuber, you have to be a narco-communist, so that doesn't really apply to you. Bread comes from the conquest of bread. Well, some people call me breadtube, though. I don't know what to tell you. I knew a guy once who joined the French Foreign Legion. You did? Only played the trombone because they needed people who play instruments. Deserted after a few months and wasn't allowed in France for 20 years. I'm sorry. What? You've never told me about this. How have you never told me about this? What the fuck? A beard from being very blonde is thin and scraggly. Yeah, but when your beard is blonde, it doesn't show as much that it's thin and scraggly. Why are you gay? Good question. I cannot tell you. My coworker is Caps Lock Chris. Yeah, I know him. He's a German podcaster, I think. I haven't followed his podcast for a while, but it used to be. It's like kind of a neoliberal podcast, but I think that it was what it has become. But the guys who run it, they're actually kind of nice. I do like them. How on earth does Google not allow the word "cum" in super chat? That's pretty gay. Hail from Griechenland and exceedingly happy birthday. Well, Jean-Baptiste Clemence is not really a Greek name, I have to say. Dylan Lightail, another $5 for actually pronouncing my last name correctly. People usually go with little. Well, then it would say little, wouldn't it? Thank you for the $5. Sito, have a business idea that I would like to pitch. Have you ever noticed when you go by... Have you ever noticed... when you go to buy sandals, they do not have any sandals at the sandal store. Fucking Bigot, or Hayden as he's here in chat, the madman, he under the community post that I did recently, he typed out the entire Cumtown stretch sandal spit. It's so fucking good. Oh boy. I've actually been listening to Cumtown. I usually have like phases where I don't listen to Cumtown for like a month or two, and then I listen to 20 episodes in a row. I listened to Clarence the Baker today. That was really good. I don't get anarchons. If you want to be anarchist, just be anarchist. I mean, I'm not gonna comment on this, because anytime you comment on anything relating to anarchists, Hmm. Thoughts on Duolingo to relearn German? It's probably a good idea. I mean, I haven't used the German Duolingo version because obviously I know German, but Duolingo I think is actually kind of good. Fucking. Oh, thanks, Yellow Cheese, for going happy birthday, Berg. Bread Soup is lame because all they do is. Oh boy, something happened. Coom socks are cringe. Real men use coom bath towels. Thank you, Theodore Dickens, for €10 to make this statement. No, it's you can just use like toilet paper. It's not. Oh, it's a guy's name from a Camus book. Okay, I have never actually read any Camus. I just think the guy. I just think he had a cool aesthetic. Well, I actually may have read some texts by him in like philosophy class in school, but I haven't read any of his books. Fucking. Hey man, I'm happy to see you live. I haven't had time to catch up on your videos yet, so tell me, how are you? Is your struggle with depression any better? Actually, I am depressed now. Well, actually, like I had a very good phase ever since like after Christmas. Something happened after Christmas. I was like, no, no more depression. And I actually did really well during January. I still deal with like the intrusive thoughts and the voices of schizophrenia that try to make me goddamn depressed. And even right now that I am depressed, I feel like it's different than it used to be. I'm just low energy. It's everything is very stressful, but I don't like feel as terrible about myself as I used to, which I think is a big kind of progress thing because that used to be the main component of my depression. Now it's just difficult. Saying something that is pointlessly inflammatory and has no substance. No. BDSM plus magical girls, yay or nay? What is magical girls? What is that? What is that? So futas, gay or nay? What is? No, wait. I know what futas is. Futas is the women with dicks, right? In like anime. Although I think that is called hentai in that case. You may notice I am not a weeb. Um, as someone who lives in the Balkans and has dreams of moving to the land of the Swabo of Deutschland for obvious reasons, what are actually nice cities that are nice to live in, culturally nice peps? Of course I was born there, so I'm kind of biased. But even in Germany, Cologne is known to be a city of like just very, very nice people. It's essentially like the San Francisco and LA of Germany because there's a lot of media shit there, and also it's like the gay cat. If you are a German and you have an uncle who lives in Cologne, he's gay. That's just the case. But like having been to other parts of Germany, I've noticed that like Cologne is a very nice city. It is a beautiful city, but it's also like a kind of a dirty city, even in like the main areas at times. Like so, it is kind of flawed. There's a lot of good places in Germany. I live near Hamburg, but I've unfortunately not been able to explore it properly because I've like the uni ticket that would allow me to go there has only become like big area very recently, and that very recently was pretty much 100% located within the whole, please do not use public transport thing. Um, so you really, it's what I mean. Hamburg is certainly a good city in terms of culturally. Like the Beatles recorded their first album here. There's a lot of cool stuff. I know that objectively Berlin is good, but fuck Berlin. And don't go to Munich. Actually, fuck Munich. Um, Schizophrenia. I must have missed that. Yeah, I mean it's mild. I don't talk. I did a video on it once. It's like fucking. It was. I kind of think that at some point, like a therapist flipped a coin between is it OCD or is it schizophrenia. Is it OCD that presents like schizophrenia, or is it schizophrenia that presents like OCD? But I don't like suffer a major quality of life detriment from it, so it's not really it's not diagnosable as a condition because it's not bad enough. And that's like how when it becomes a medical condition. Um, what is this? Is chat is very confusing once again. Is there hope over in Germany when it comes to COVID limitations, like things being more linear for citizens? I'm not sure what you mean. Like things work rather well here. I mean, aside from like the vaccine rollout, which like props to Israel for doing that extremely well. Holy shit. Um, Cologne is very nice. Karlsruhe and Freiburg are pretty fuck. Hanover is ugly as shit but cheap. I've been to Hanover. It's kind of generic. I'm not sure it's ugly, but I've not been to a lot of Hanover. So I've not been to Freiburg and Karlsruhe though. I hear Karlsruhe has like a cool layout. What's happening? Illusion for 200. Actually, I don't know what currency that is, but it looks like this is a lot of money. Very well, you forced my thumbs. My new website, illusion.me. I am doing Ego Month, which is content a day every day, all February. Again, it's illusion.me. Yes, I'm making you repeat it. The power of capitalism compels you. I don't know what that is. I have to be honest. What does Ego Month mean? Please explain this to me in chat. Have you ever heard of much of Space Station 13? I've been... fuck, that comment is now gone because chat jumped. Germany, then... Wait, what? If where is the Texas of Germany, then what is the Alabama of Germany? Saarland. 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 It's just Saarland. That's 100% the case. Would you say that Germany is the most global European country? I guess because it's like geographically located in the center, and it's like it's always been like a lot of different cultures coming together. But I wouldn't say that it's like much more global or cosmopolitan than the others. Like for instance, like London is the most cosmopolitan city in all of Europe. Yeah, Theodore's just said it. You know, it's Saarland. Czech crown. Wait, how? Wait, the Czech crowns. The Czech don't have the euro. How? Wait, I would have said Czech something, but I was convinced that the Czechs had the euro. Huh. It's a thing made by me. Read the website and understand. Okay, I'm gonna fucking read the website now. This better not be a computer virus. Yo, I did it. I finally started to go full ego. Welcome, pity, collab, donate, look for more. Hope this is kind of cool. I gotta be honest. I look at this guy's website. It's kind of fucking. I have no idea what's going on, but maybe you will. It's thing. Okay. France is the most global because of all those bases in Africa. I mean, that's not wrong. Also, YouTube doesn't let me super chat Black History Month, which is... Wait, you can't write Black History Month? What? That's kind of racist. Who is an interesting person you want to do a video on but haven't had a chance to yet? All of them? I have a huge list of people. Let me try and... I might be able to give you a specific number of people who are on interesting lives that I could do a video on. Wait, okay, I'm gonna have to like cut this down a little bit because it's fuck. So it's fucking... No, I forgot. Just give it the comment. I just want to do a simple maths operation because I'm not capable of performing it in my head because I have a disorder. So, yeah, it's like about 40 people. So fucking... Uh, there's some that I want to do one on, but I only do those on people who have deceased. And for instance, I kind of don't want Daryl Davis to die ever, so you know. Thoughts on Dogecoin? It exists. I don't know what to say about it. I would send some liras just for lols, but your spit was it's worth more. I mean, you know, Czech crowns are the most beautiful currency in the world. Come at me, anybody. Let's actually look at what they look like. Maybe they are kind of cool. I have to be honest with you. They don't look. I mean, they look kind of like vintage, which is nice. I've been to Czechia before, and I've like paid with Czech crowns. I don't know, they just look kind of vintage. Wouldn't call them the most beautiful currency in the world. They're certainly up there, though. Thank you, Mitch, for wishing me a happy birthday. When is the next Many People Don't Know That video coming out? That series does not exist. I've never made a video like that. It doesn't happen. Black History Month. More like BBC Day. God damn it. What's your most right-wing opinion? See, I don't like put my opinions on that spectrum, so I couldn't even say. But talking about Black History Month, I am with Daryl Davis, whom I mentioned only minutes ago, on the whole thing that there shouldn't be a Black History Month in the sense that Black history is just American history. Black history should be taught all year. It's part of American history. Beard was a good choice. Thank you very much. Prepare myself to join voice chat, sing a birthday song for you, and all my passion. I immediately leave again, but you're not in Discord. That's true. And I was gonna do a Discord voice chat, but now I'm not going to. I already forbade someone else from singing today. Thank you, Brexit, for wishing me a happy birthday. There's so many birthday wishes. Thoughts on Ainsley Harriott? I know who that is. I know he's a cooking guy. I know he does funny faces, but that's pretty much all I know about him. I think pound sterling takes the prize for, but no, for best looking currency, I'm sorry, what? Look, first of all, the coins make no fucking sense. It was so irritating. I was giving like a homeless person money in London, and I just gave him a huge coin, and he looked at me like, fucking seriously, dude? Because I didn't know that it was basically nothing that I had given him. I just thought probably the biggest coin is the one that is worth the most. And it really is not the case. So, Bogus' most far-right view is the death to whatever demon possesses his technology. That's true, actually. I am a demophobic. As a more nationalist guy, I always found the idea of Black American contributions to my country are separate from the rest of American history to be kind of insulting. I'm not a kind of a nationalist, but I agree with you that it is kind of insulting, yeah. And it's not even like just about the contributions. Because I know that especially in American schools, a lot of the atrocities committed, like not just against Americans, but like against other people of color, minorities, they just don't get talked about. Like in German schools talk about those more than they do in America, which is wild to me. But yeah, I absolutely agree. Like they're just Americans, and their part in their history needs to be part of American history. Well, now that you've forbidden it, guess who's getting a WhatsApp voice message? Well, thank you for letting me know ahead of time that voice message is going to be full of singing, so I can just never listen to it. Congratulations, you played yourself. I know Count Dankula's already did one, but would you consider doing an interesting lives on G.G. Allen? I kind of don't find him that interesting. I find him interesting, and he did certainly have an interesting life. But Dankula already did a very good video on him. I'm not sure. I'm trying to do people that weren't really covered before, and so because Dankula's video is so good, I wouldn't do one. Lindy Beige explains. Wait, what? What did you think of the Shoe on Head Goes to DC? Wait, it's out? Wait, Shoe on Head Goes to DC. Wait, let's just, Shoe on Head. YouTube. Oh, for fuck's sake. How did I miss this? I have the bell on for her. Oh my god. The bell reset itself to only personalized. No, I don't want to have to triple, quadruple bell subscribe to people, you fucking cunts. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, apparently, because of fucking dumb reasons. Native American history in American schools sounds like communism. Yeah, pretty much. Fucking... Burr gave a homeless person a £2 coin. Probably that is what I did, yes. Dude, I thought the slave and Jim Crow stuff was bullshit until I found out similar events in other countries. That era was foul. Yes, absolutely. Very much so. Thoughts on BreadTube? I don't really have thoughts on BreadTube as a whole because I don't think I watch any BreadTube. Fucking... The video was on the news. Do you think I watched the news? I don't know. I just assumed that clips, because I knew the clips of the video were out before that, and it probably didn't appear in my sub feed or something. You know how YouTube fucks around with shit. Would you be interested in doing a video for the Costco on the Costco founder and his hot dog prices? Isn't there a thing that he says, like, the hot dogs are never going to be more expensive than this? Because that's kind of cool. How about Sergei Korolev? I have no idea who that is. Never click the bell in my life. What does it even do? It like actually subscribes you to the channel? It's really dumb. It gives you like notifications, and you have like the little bell on the top right of your YouTube page, and then it pushes them forward. It's like basically a double subscription, and sometimes YouTube go, oh, you don't have the bell on. Well, I guess this also doesn't appear in your subscription feed. Who would win in an epic rap battle? Saddam Hussein or Osama bin Laden? What is this, 2012? Since we're on American history, what's your favorite atrocity we've committed? Fucking shit. I'm gonna say something that, taken out of context, right, it's gonna get me in a lot of trouble. But I'm gonna say the Nuremberg trials. Because I like that those Nazis got what was coming for them. Fucking shit. He said, I will kill you if you raise the price of the hot dog. Figure it out. That is fucking base, dude. Yeah, I still think ERB still puts out a good one every once in a while, but even back then I didn't follow them as much because I thought it was kind of cringe. But I can see, like, as I've grown older, I've sort of begun to appreciate the artistry behind the whole thing. So now I like it more than I did before. Oh, people are telling me. Somebody sent me a very funny text. Okay, most based, currently active terrorist organization. I cannot comment on this, but it's the IRA. He threatened to kill the CEO if he raised the price. The price of a hot dog and drink with unlimited toppings has been $1.50 for over 30 years. Well, respect to that, man. It's like the Arizona iced tea folks, who are like, it's not going to be more than $1. I'm in American high school. My teacher teaches us about atrocities that America commits and glosses over atrocities against us. What atrocities have been committed against America? Like, there has to be some. But, like, can you name some? Trail of Tears is probably the most messed up. Wasn't that a atrocity committed against the Native Americans? And Korolev was the guy who made space rocketry possible. Without him, Sputnik would have never launched. Yeah, so the reason I made a video on what's his name? No, his name is not Guy Fawkes. Why am I forgetting the name of the guy that I made a video on? I have to look this up. Wait, where is the thing? Jack Parsons. The reason I did a video on him is because he's interesting. Because he was like a completely insane person. That's why I did the video. Caesar vs. Sulu. Okay, that's a new one from the favorite crusade. Not a big Crusades guy actually. Put their own citizens in concentration camps. Wait, who, what, when, where? Most of them were atrocities of the Americans committed on Americans, i.e. the Mormon Wars. So like still atrocities committed against minorities. Columbus is the worst atrocity committed on America. Very controversial take. Very controversial take, my man. Surely the Native Americans killed some. Yeah, absolutely, completely they did. I'm sure. Like this is the thing, right? This is the thing. You can. I hate it when people go, oh, like all of these minorities that atrocities were committed against are just better people than white people. Because when it comes down to it, if they had the chance, they would be just as bad. The point is to not commit atrocities, and you can't go, oh, this is. I'm not saying that's what you're saying, but like you can't go, oh, well, they would have been terrible also. That's why we're gonna atrocity them. You just don't atrocity. The atrocity is bad because it is an atrocity. Huey Massacre by NVA. Was in the Viet Cong, killed 4,000 Americans. My teacher also literally defended ISIS. That's kind of a fucked up thing to defend. But the people who were killed were soldiers, though, right? So that's a war crime. I'm not saying that's not an atrocity, but like, that's like a war crime on soldiers. So it's difficult because usually atrocities are more like focused on civilians. Favorite sport? It's difficult because I've not been able to like do much in the way of sports for a long time. So I'm not like, I don't like competitive sports as much. Maybe what I would like to get into is like squash. You know, where you have the bat and you bat it against the wall. That's something that I could enjoy, I think. But usually I just do like, I just like work out, and like I used to do Krav Maga before the pandemic for like a couple months. So the British did a few atrocities against the Americans. I don't know if that's true. Legitimately, I do not know. Also, literally everything Vincent Clawhammer ever did, that sounds like a Warhammer character. So I'm not sure if that's like actually something that he's like real. Burning DC in 1812, we were at war with Great Britain. I mean, cities have been burned. It's an act of war, but like I'm not sure you heard that. I kind of hope you did, because it's funny. Japanese internment, yeah, but that's an atrocity against like Japanese Americans. Once again, that's like saying that fucking slavery was an atrocity against the American people because the blacks are Americans. It's like, yeah, it's technically true, but like, you know, the genocide of the Huron, by the Iroquois, is some of the most glossed over traits. Huron only survived by breeding with the French, and even they are tiny now. Yeah, but there's like Native American. That's the Native Americans. Also an atrocity, of course. But yeah, it's the kind of thing. where, then there's always, I wish there just was not a narrative. I wish, or at least I wish the narrative was atrocities bad, not these people are good and these people are bad. That's the big problem, is to go, these people are good, these people are bad. These people should feel guilty and these people can do no wrong. No, the other ones get to also be evil, but also they shouldn't be. Ever think about gardening? Yeah, not really into it. Vincent Clawhammer is apparently a real person. Curie American was American and AMV POWs. A lot of South Vietnamese women and children and lots of people. Wait, what? So they killed the... What, I'm really confused now. I'm gonna Google this now. The Hue massacre was the summer execution and mass murder perpetrated by the Viet Cong and People's Army of Vietnam due to the capture and military occupation later withdrawal from the city of Hue during the Tet Offensive, city of one of the bloodiest battles of the Vietnam War. A number of US and Vietnamese authorities, as well as a number of journalists who investigated the events, took the discoveries along with the evidence. Okay, wait, this is a huge... okay, it's a huge massacre. So civilians and prisoners of war. Yeah, well, that's pretty bad. It's not according to the Geneva Conventions. But the real problem, I think, is that your teacher is kind of a nut who defends ISIS. I think that's kind of not something you should do. Worst atrocity that ever got committed against the US was the introduction of the gallon-sized coat bottles. The Brain War has recommended Teuton. I've sent you a voice message, but I didn't do any singing in it. Well, I guess I'll never find out. Crazy Civilization playthrough you've had. I haven't played Civilization in a long fucking time, so I couldn't even tell you. But I remember that I used to play Indonesia, even though it's, I think, the weakest civ in terms of like the rankings, because I like the music. I do really like the music of Indonesia in Civ 5. Vince Clymer would actually be pretty good for an interesting live video. Confederate militia commander, among other things, an absolute fucking nutter. Okay. I wanna put that open. King Phillips was an electric razor. Might be the only time the Americans were in danger. I do not know if that's the case. I genuinely do not know. I couldn't say. Google searching atrocities committed against America includes none, and all the links are atrocities against others. That's some sketchy shit right there. I've not really seen any atrocities committed against Americans, though. Like, aside from, I mean, certainly there were war crimes, like, especially like this massacre, killing prisoners of war, of course, war crime. Bada boom, bada bing. That's just something that's the case. What the fuck did I say? Bada boom, bada bing. That's war crime. God damn. Hey, it's a fucking war crime. Bada boom, bada bing. Oh, fuck, dude. The Castle Bravo test was pretty bad against a lot of people in the US care, but isn't that the stuff that happened in Nevada? Dresden. Actually, my grandpa was apparently in Dresden as a little boy when that happened. And I mean, part of my family is from near Dresden. If you don't listen to it, I win, as I state it in the message itself. Well, I don't believe that that's true, so... you are aging. This is... that is a factual statement. Thank you for reminding me of this. Are you watching Burger learn about the Tet offense? There's so much stuff here. That's actually... the Tet offensive. Yeah, I don't know everything. The Tet Offensive was a coordinated series of North Vietnamese attacks on more than 100 cities and outposts in South Vietnam. The offensive was an attempt to ferment rebellion among the South Vietnamese population and encourage the United States to scale back its involvement in the Vietnam War. So here's the thing. Of course, the tactics used by the Viet Cong during the Vietnam War were terrible. But this is a war we lost, and that is a terrible atrocity against the American people. I am not sure if that tracks as much as we literally exterminated all of the people that lived here in a systematic fashion for hundreds of years and gave them in exchange some casinos. Like, I'm not saying those things are good in any way, shape, or form, or even remotely justifiable. I'm just saying there's maybe a little bit of a difference in scale. Again, the Wampoangs did some fucked up shit in King Philip's War, but it depends on how you define Americans. Yeah, that also is a thing. So I can't really comment definitively on any of these things. Hey Tony, how can be tried for a war crime if there ain't no war? Bada boom, bada bing. Fucking. Wait, what's happening? My grandma watched from the hills surrounding the city. Pretty horrifying. Yeah, it must. Like, it has to be like this. Also, I watched the one film, the one with the gay Alan Turing. That one, and they had like scenes where they go to bomb shelters in London, and that seems pretty fucking scary. This was a bit ago, but I just remember the US wasn't a signatory of the Geneva Convention during Vietnam, and that's why it had flamethrowers and Agent Orange and shit. Oh yeah, in the Vietnam War, the USA, of course, also committed a whole bunch of war crimes. I'm just saying, which is, neither of the things, like, justifies the other. I remember hearing something about Mexican troops invading across the border and massacring a town back in the early 1900s or something. Can't remember the details though. If that happened, that is very fucked up. Berg, I'm just going to farm the chat for fucked up history shit. I mean, that's all I'm getting, so that's all I'm farming. I'm a simple man. Only the English and the Soviet ever really threatened the US. That's probably not an incorrect take, I would say. Napalm bad, that is definitely a good take. Imagine if British bombs were more accurate, you wouldn't exist to celebrate your yearly not dead. I mean, he was in a bunker underground, so he probably would have survived. Bro, as Chief Slapperho, leader of the Slapperho Nation, I condone all scalping ever. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, Chief Slapperho, leader of the Slapperho Nation. Would you consider the Great Ghost Dance an atrocity on America? To be fair, if the Great Ghost Dance had actually happened, the one from Shadowrun, yeah, it is a bit of an atrocity to massacre people in any context. War is war, bad, but it's war. Removing people indifferent, and I have no idea what that means. Workplace comedy set in an Italian equivalent unit of that's too much history memes. I don't know enough about history to get that joke. Going to war is not the same as the federal government breaking multiple treaties and unintentionally destroying populations with smallpox. Well, have you considered that that's not the only thing that happened? The Castle Bravo test was a nuclear test in the South Pacific that was more powerful and was designed to be, ended up poisoning hundreds of Japanese fishermen and thousands of Pacific Islanders. Yes, but we are currently talking about atrocities committed against Americans. That's what we were looking for. That America has committed a whole slew of atrocities. No shit. We must know penis fingers or vagina ears. I'd have to go for vagina ears, probably, because they would probably work rather well, and with penis fingers I couldn't type. Talking Shadowrun, do you think it's possible to convert Shadowrun 5e into fudge to work with fudge dice? I suppose, but you'd have to change the balancing a little bit. I always forget how exactly the dice system works, but it's it works almost like fudge, but there's some minor details that are different because Shadowrun wanted to be a special snowflake. You could probably do it, but I don't see why you would do it. You can just use D6s. Like, they're much more ubiquitous and cheap anyway. I'm an American who lived in Turkey as a child. This means I had to learn that that place I lived did a genocide twice in my teen years. Well, that's... I mean, imagine being German, which, fucking... Think Germany should bring back conscription? Absolutely not. No country should have conscription. Conscription is genuinely a bad thing. You should not be able... Because here's the thing about conscription. Rich people never go. The kids of rich people do not go to conscription. Conscription is genuinely a terrible thing. To force people to go to war is... I would argue it is too reflective of this thing where in feudal times you own the populace and you can get the populace to go to war in your interest. I'm pretty sure that's actually like a direct thing that comes from that. It was just never like not done. I don't think that is something. I do not think that a government has the right to the life of any person. Or rather to the death of any person, because you can put people in jail for life. Isn't the bombing of Dresden being especially horrific compared to the other German cities that were bombed, not just propaganda the Nazis and later the East German government promoted? I do not know if that is true. I have no idea. Bombing of Hamburg was way worse. I also don't know if that is true. I do know that they exploded a bomb in I think, Hamburg recently. No, actually, there wasn't Hamburg. There was Göttingen. Which is just that people get really weirded out by that. That's just a normal thing that happens, that bombs just get blown up, that still exist from World War II. 9/11 is a pretty obvious atrocity. That is actually true, especially considering how many members of the Saudi royal family helped fund Al-Qaeda. See, I will absolutely give you that one. That is 100% accurate. 9/11 is definitely an atrocity committed against Americans. It's not very big in terms of scale, but it is most definitely an atrocity. Thoughts on the NATO bombings of Serbia? I do not have any thoughts on that because I do not have enough information about it. What is your opinion on Shadowrun 6 and why is it so bad? I have to be honest, I kind of just looked at... I already didn't like Shadowrun 5. I just don't like the Shadowrun system. I didn't even properly look at Shadowrun 6. So... I've been burnt out on Shadowrun for months. Look at the Hanoi Hilton was basically a death sentence for US pilots shot down over North Vietnam. Okay. Also, again, shit like the Centralia massacre, the worst atrocities against Americans were committed by Confederate militias in the latter years of the Civil War. I do not know whether or not this is true. I can personally neither confirm nor deny this, but Heinzke does know her history. I am no fortunate son. Exactly. The Japanese POW camps are the biggest atrocity against Americans that I can think of. But again, that's an ethnic minority in the United States. That is a little bit like saying that slavery was an atrocity against Americans, which is technically true because those people are Americans, which I don't think they had citizenship. I'm not sure if they did. But it's, So, I just followed you on Twitch. Will you be streaming much there, good sir? Been enjoying the Twitch more than YouTube lately. I am not really streaming on Twitch. I tried it a few times, but the streaming thing, it really burns out my social batteries rather quickly. So, if we must have conscription, it should only be for the purpose of defending our own borders, but it's not like it would stay that way. Yes, that is true. I think we can get away with... I think that's a reasonable argument, that you could have conscription if literally your borders are under attack. But any, wars where you go to another place, no conscription. You can do that with professional soldiers, too. You don't even... you just need to give proper incentives. people hitting me up all over. Uh, Goodbye, Guppy. I mean, you're probably gone already, but I'm only now seeing your thing. Imagine splunking your hair, ticking, move, rock, and find one of USA's lost nuke. Brady, I know what you mean, but I had trouble. What the fuck? Now I can't talk. But I had trouble figuring it out. Yes, it often happens in like construction, archaeology, and stuff. Speaking to Japanese prison labor. What? Isn't it weird though how America suffers arguably more war crimes than most other nations, but the non-war atrocities are pretty rare? Wait, what? I'm not sure what that means. What do you mean by this? The Nordic countries are the ones in Europe that have conscription. Yes, that is true. It's still wrong. Conscription is the last resort for defense. I think that's actually rather reasonable. Look at this. Beautiful pear. Not really juice, it's just stevia drink. Oh boy. Yeah, chat just... That was my beard oil. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Nothing is broken. I'm all right. Yeah, wait, what? The most nefarious shit the USA has ever done in my war was project 100,000 aka McNamara's morons the use of mentally and to a lesser extent physically disabled troops in the Vietnam War. I have seen like memes about this, that they just put very, very dumb people to go to Vietnam. The USA doesn't need atrocities, they do their own with the American prison system. The American prison system is, also, once again, one of those. Of course, disproportionately affects minority communities, but that doesn't mean that it also massively affects everyone. Like all kinds of, except if you're rich, in which case you get like nice prisons. To be fair, most conflicts in wars today are fought by contractors, so basically mercs. So we see now lots of localized atrocities, but because it's not a nation's army, it doesn't really get traction. That's actually a big problem, yeah. It wouldn't be Burger Stream if you didn't spill your beer. No, I did not spill my beer. I did not spill anything. I was moving the glass and putting it down. I was putting it down behind the microphone, but my beard oil was already there, and it was obscured by the microphone. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much gayer have you become since the I Wish You Were a Little Gayer video? Probably like a 4, I'd say. The death rate for McNamara's morons were exponentially higher than they were for other troops because most of them ended up in the frontline infantry. That sounds really messed up. Why should you be conscripted in your country if your country's under attack? If you don't want to defend your country because it probably sucks, you should have the right. I suppose that is an ethical argument that you could make. However, it's not a practical argument that I would make in terms of like actual policy. Forrest Gump did pretty well in Vietnam. Here's a true fact about me that is something that's probably not going to surprise you. I've never seen Forrest Gump. I've never seen the film. I know it's a good film, apparently, but I've never seen it. And it's not because I have a big problem with how unrealistic it is that he can run across the entire country without sleeping. Because this is a real contention that I have heard in the real world. Someone has said this. American prison system needs to be burned to the ground and rebooted. Also, proportional fines are a must. Rich people can skirt the law so much because of flat fines. I genuinely, I'm still see. This is a big issue for me that I think about rather often. I mean, not that often, but sometimes I think about it because you can make an argument for both things, right? Flat fines are very egalitarian in the sense that every citizen is the same in the eyes of the law. But you can make the argument that proportional fines are more just. It's a very, very difficult conundrum that I have not found a definitive answer for. So I think there's very good arguments in favor of both. I'm leaning more toward proportional fines should be a thing. But yeah, Burger, if you ever want to awe at the size and beauty of the universe, I can highly recommend Space Engine. I have Space Engine. It's on Steam and you can just wander through the universe and really helps you get some perspective. I have Space Engine. I haven't played it in a while. I mean, played it, but I have it. It's pretty good. The nicest person in the world is the one in Hague where they keep all the war criminals. Nicest prison. Fucking. That may be true. What color was the sock? What color is the sock? It's still below this one. What's a fall? Like, could you fuck a trap and pretend it's a woman, or not even that far? I'm not sure I'm comfortable discussing that kind of stuff on stream, if I'm entirely honest with you. But maybe. I don't even like. I don't care about the. Yeah. Care more about the genitals than the woman bit, I guess. Or maybe not. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't like the labels and the scales and the numbers and trying to quantify all this shit. I don't really see the point to it. Forrest Gump is overrated. Some people have said this. My man Gump went full psychosis and ran coast to coast. I don't know if he did that. Remember napalm sticks to kids. What? In the immortal world of the song Napalm Sticks to Kids. I do not remember this. The more I learn about American history, the more I start to think America is just in general an atrocity. Look, America is still a good country. Look, it's maybe okay. The people who live in the United States of America are by and large just good people. And that if I think of a country, I first think of the people of that country. And most people are fine. Except when I'm talking about China, because when I talk about China, I'm usually referring to, the government. Because also, like in China, I think most people are also fine. So, thoughts on the comparison between atheists in medieval Europe and modern flat earthers? If you haven't heard of it, I promise there's some nuance there. What? What is the nuance? Because I am very curious as to finding this. Watch this Counter-Strike Thesenstreik. There's a lot of stuff that I'm being recommended. I just tried to reach out to get mental help in my area and was informed there's a 2-month waiting list to get some help. Yes. This is very unfortunately a pretty normal thing. I was extremely lucky getting therapy 2 or 3 weeks after I called, but a 2-month waiting list in some places actually pretty decent. So it's very good that you are on the waiting list because if you had waited 2 months, it effectively would have just pushed it back 4 months because there's going to be a waiting list in 2 months also. It's terrible how long you have to wait for that shit. Because it's just one of those things. It's in terms to get mental health, especially when you're depressed, right? It's a little bit like you had like a hospital for wheelchair conditions, but there's only stairs to get up to the hospital, and it's on a mountain. That's a bit like how difficult it is in most places to get mental health help. Simply because the availability isn't there. Fucking, do you use mods for Civ 5 work? Too many. If not, may I recommend the community patch, Vox Populi, and the really advanced settings mod from the Steam Workshop. Look, I used to be I used to do like voice narrating for a Civ thing. I moved to the US from Britain. The people are great with the exception of some crazies. I can't stand the healthcare though. I mean, there's also a lot of crazy people in Britain. I can't do it in 200 characters. Also, did you just DM me then? No, you didn't. So just based on the surface thing about like atheists and flat earthers in medieval times, atheists used to get burnt at the stake and flat earthers don't get burnt at the stake. I had a panic attack last week. Yeah, especially if you get panic attacks, that's like a fucked up place to be in. But it is like having it in 2 months is a better reassurance than not having it. I would say. America, but I really get like having very urgent mental health issues that you need fixed because they're so fucking oppressive. I've had that many times in my life, and I can tell you one thing: you are so much more resilient than you think you are. Like, you can, like, you think you know your breaking point, but it's way beyond that. Especially if you have a lot of experience with mental health, you are probably a really fucking tough person. And it is going to get better in the long term. Like, I promise you that. If you can't get a psychologist, see if you can find a peer support counselor. Yeah, I mean, maybe try that. But don't let yourself get turned off therapists if they're shit. 2 months still sucks, yes. I haven't been to my main job in 3 weeks because every time I went there, I got depressed. I walked out. Damn, dude, that is heavy. That's a pretty bad situation to be in. Is it because, like, coronavirus or something? You're in psychosis, better survive for 3 months till we can help you. Fucking, is that something that really... I know a guy, a friend of mine, who, he should really have therapy, but, like, insurance went like, no, you're not getting it, you don't need it. And he really needs it. And I get super fucking angry every time I think about it. Mental health is like, people just ignore that shit. There's a lot of... Now everyone is sending me messages. I mean, I've lost several jobs because of my panic attacks. Damn, dude. Especially panic attacks are really fucked up. Like, I'm very glad that I just I've had like maybe like 3 or 4 in my life. And like, okay, sometimes I get the beginnings of one, but when I notice I have it, I can like calm it down, I guess that makes it not really a panic attack. Just sorry, man, that happened in Norway. We need to improve this shit fast. Yeah, I mean, this is... Even in some of the best countries with mental health care, there's like not. Because people don't really... It's not seen as a serious thing. And I do think that maybe the current times, as they say, modern times, are not very conducive to people's mental health. And this is not like a return to nature type bullshit. This is, I think that a lot of the changes that civilization has undergone have just not considered. You know, like climate change, a lot of the changes of industrialization have just not considered climate change, and the same thing is true about mental health. And we need to have a thing, because it is absolutely possible to have modern civilization in a way that still works with climate change. I also think that that's the case for mental health, but it does require significant reform. Jesus fucking Christ, the UK is bad for healthcare, but it's like some third world tier bullshit for mental health. Yeah, I've heard that. It's pretty fucking bad. I get very lucky with all kinds of mental health shit. Mental health insurance here gets ruled over by local government, so you need to give as little information. Not to tell your next door neighbor about your borderline. Oh boy, what the fuck? Suicidal, but else need to give enough. Wait, what? I don't understand. Otherwise, you won't get funding. So if you have it bad, you won't get mental health treatment. What? Um, is it weird that I saw you were live streaming and came to you with this shit? It's kind of. I mean, is it weird? It needs out if you have these problems. They're very pressing. It sometimes it just needs out, and it doesn't really matter like who's there, so long as there's someone there. That's why I have the I Need Help channel on my Discord server. So just because it's very important to talk about this shit, it's a very like pressing internal pressure. And even if you have like a lot of friends and shit, and sometimes you just don't want to put that on their plate, and sometimes they're just not there right now because they're doing shit. I think it's actually it's healthier than just eating it up into yourself. Psychosis, prepare to be strapped down and receive a dose of Ativan. That's fucked up. Align your chakras and your schizophrenia will disappear. Yeah, it just flows out when the pipe is no longer blocked. Gmail address is losing its steam now. Well, it's still, if you look at this is not financial advice. If you look at the volume being traded, it's still very low. So this is not financial advice. Still kind of looks like it's a bit of a ladder situation. That they're trying to short ladder that shit to make people scared. Problems with the privacy. Wait, you don't have privacy in terms of like mental health shit? I need my gambling addiction to be affirmed, not proven wrong by reality. That's I don't understand what that means. I discussed healthcare in school/uni with a friend, and we realized depressingly that Germany is already one of the best up there with the Nordic countries. Yes, that is unfortunately true. Have you thought about writing another book? I mean, yes, this is. I don't think people realize that. In my mind, I started doing YouTube as a side thing, and it still kind of is a side thing for me to finance my writing career. Which is really strange, because at this point, like, I put more time into YouTube than I do writing. And I kind of enjoy both equally, I'd say. So I don't think I have a prioritization anymore. But yes, that's kind of my thing. My main thing is that I am a writer. I'm an author. Local government, so the people in your town get to confirm or to deny you. What? What? That is insane. Is this the case for other medical conditions too? Who is Betty? Oh yeah, it's Tailspinner. Thank you for wishing me a happy birthday, my man. Or if it's your wife or if you're both there, whoever's on the other side of there. Which is why the therapists do a little song and dance, give you just enough information to keep your privacy. That is so fucked up. Jeff Bezos will step down as CEO of Amazon and will be replaced by AWS CEO Andy Jassy during the third quarter of 2021. Bezos will become the executive chair of the Amazon board. Okay. Why is this relevant? I've basically given up on NHS mental health clinics because they're so overwhelmed. I have a work hearing because the number of times I've called in sick ate over the year because of my mental health. Yeah, it's fucking the way that it's organized is so poorly. Like, there's so many good ideas on how to make a system like that work, and it is not implemented properly. It just does not happen. It used to be national government, but they couldn't handle it. Did you study writing or philosophy at the third level institution? No. What the fuck? Why would I do that? That's one of the main things. Like, when I talk to like professional authors, that's one of the main things. The ones that like studied writing at university is first thing I had to do is unlearn everything I had learned there. I used to be national government. Okay, that's it. I keep trying to write an essay, and I've got a great title, but I can't seem to start it. Oh, sometimes I get that with videos too. It happens. You can just write like gibberish. Write about like some sentences of gibberish. And maybe you'll get into it. That's like the most difficult step. Thanks for letting us hang out. You're awesome. Happy Dave. But thank you, Eddie. Just the one me actually. Wife's trying to sleep. Now to listening. Great. Penis music. Penis music. I thought about penis music this morning. I was dreaming about penis music tonight. What the fuck, Ctor? Are you like in my head? Thank you from Brazil for the birthday wishes. Occupational therapist, you can go at work, write a report that goes to your manager, which really irks me. That is ultra fucked up. This is like complete control. This also with like social media and shit that they completely control every aspect of your life. It's really fucking messed up, dude. I do. It makes me very uncomfortable. Let's see. Britain can't organize much. They don't even have. Britain does have a constitution, like for all intents and purposes, it actually does. Beard fits you. Thank you very much for that compliment. FTL or Eternal Youth? Eternal Youth. Because even if you have FTL, you still live like 100 years if you have good medicine. I don't even need to see other stars. I can just hang out here for like a couple thousand. Very casually bashing what I spent the last 3 years on. No, I mean, see, look. You can, especially if you do it with something else, because I think you also did philosophy. It can teach you a lot, but it's not the thing. It's the thing. It won't teach you to write about something. It'll teach you to understand writing, and not even necessarily in the way that a writer understands writing. But I mean, it's certainly you do get a lot out of it, and like a lot of successful writers are English majors and shit. So that's not even it's not something that's going to be bad for you, because you also like understand which things you need to unlearn. Which, I mean, let's be honest, for a lot of like university courses, you have to unlearn a lot of things when you actually get into the industry. Yeah, us Brits are just good at layering bureaucracy. Oh, the Germans are good at this also. And so this is the thing that happened here. It pisses me off so much. So there's I'm not sure which minister it is, but she is in charge of the departments that make food healthy, right? And she's so adamant about, oh, it's so terrible that sodas have so much sugar in them. She's so disappointed that they're not like reducing the amount of sugar in sodas. Meanwhile, there's one soda that's produced here where they have very very little sugar, but then they get like a cease and desist essentially from the government going, you need to put more sugar in your shit, otherwise you're not allowed to call it lemonade. But because they have a ceramic print on the bottles to be environmentally friendly, they have to throw all of the bottles that they have. It's super fucked up. Whenever someone mentions penis music, I think about Penis Song from Macklemore. I don't know if that's the thing. No, penis music I never I mean, it's probably not one of those memes that you get, but I've always found it very very funny. Most of the reason that healthcare here is fucking garbage is because of Jeremy Hunt, health secretary for 6 years. His entire tenure was spent carrying out Tory austerity policy. Yes. I mean, pretty much most problems that are wrong with the UK is because of Tory austerity policy. So apparently there's some news that Russia's Sputnik V vaccines against COVID is 91% effective. I saw that, actually. Though personally, I'm skeptic because I just refuse to believe any news coming... No, this is not from Russia. I saw this in the news. I think it was an English commission. They confirmed the data. So I do have hopes that maybe we will get the Russian vaccine if the European Union also looks into that and we can buy some. The idea of eternal youth is massively underrated. This is a very true statement, which this is definitely from a video I saw like yesterday. But actually, the coronavirus vaccines that we are seeing, the mRNA ones, because it was like a very like small research field that was very like bleeding edge shit for a long time, and now it got like immense amounts of funding last year, to the point where it is like the technology has made huge leaps, and it's going to be extremely useful in battling pretty much all kinds of cancer. And it also has a lot of other applications that are going to be very, very useful, and that they're like a huge step in solving several of the major keys to immortality. What do you think of Jeff Bezos stepping down as CEO? I have no idea if that will make any kind of difference. I generally say that it's not about one person. Yes, I am German. The idea of dying and fading into the void to never be conscious again kind of scares the living shit out of me. I'll drink to that. Also has a PhD in English literature. If you don't think you know who that is, he's the singer from Steel Panther. Yeah, that's... I mean, what you do in college sometimes is not what you end up doing in life, but it's still good to have the education. Wasn't that Bionada? No, it's Bionada is not a lemonade. It's a fermented drink. No, this is lemonade. It's called. Would you rather fight dementia or... Oh my god, I'm not Brady. Don't make me think about this. I am not answering that question. Also, sugar as a whole is slowly killing American society. Not just American society. In before loons in the US ban and boycott the vaccine because it's from Russia. Fuck. That would be very funny. Thoughts on military abolition for Germany? I have always said that there should be a EU military because it is cheaper for everyone involved. I do not need the Germany does not need to defend its borders from Denmark, doesn't need to defend its borders from Poland, doesn't need to defend its borders from Czechia, doesn't need to defend its borders from Austria. Actually, no, scratch that. I'm pro. No, it doesn't need to. It doesn't need to do it with the Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, France, and especially not Switzerland. And this is the case for like most countries, especially the ones on the borders of the United States, of Europe, of the EU. I do not think we need that. I think there should be like, calls of the countries that are like ceremonial. But it would be a lot more efficient if in terms of budgeting for everyone involved if the EU had a united military. I just believe this. So Radler. No, Bionada is not Radler. It doesn't have alcohol. Plus Radler is not. It's not. I mean, it is fermented in terms of that half of it is beer, but the rest is like lemonade or lemon juice. I always find it weird that billionaires aren't founding eternal youth like crazy. I mean, are they crazy, self-centered, but eternal youth? No, but they are doing that though. Like they are doing that. Would you rather pass away or be stuck in a robot suit like General Grievous? I'm gonna have to do the General Grievous one. Here there is people who truly believe the vaccine turns you into an alligator and makes you speak Russian. Oh yes, this is because Bolsonaro said that. Yeah. I heard. That's fucking wild. I know because I a while ago I was dating a Brazilian girl and she was like, no, listen to me. You don't understand. Right-wing people in Brazil are insane. And apparently every time I talk to Brazilian people, I hear this confirmed. What language would an EU army speak? Not everyone in Europe speaks English. Well, they'd have to learn it. That's kind of... Everybody in Europe should... Which is kind of funny, though. Because, like, no part of the EU actually speaks English anymore. Like, natively. But we all speak it because it's the world language. But yeah, English. And also, the troops at most of the countries in the EU are part of NATO, and if you are in NATO, the NATO coordinates in English. Why do you come? Because it's great. I think there's enough language overlap it could work out, yeah. United European military is a pipe dream for mostly political reasons. A lot of this has to do with the German military being fucked up by political interests. This is not. I mean, yes, the German military is fucked up by political interests, but I don't think that the EU military is a pipe dream. I just think that that is rather a ways off. If you're going the Grievous route, are you also going to get the extra arms? Of course. Are you kidding me? Of course I'm getting the extra arms. Oh yeah, Ireland. That's true. I forgot that Ireland exists. I can tell you because I was thinking, I was picturing the EU in my head, right? Like Europe. And I had like Britain, and it had a different color than the rest of the EU, and Ireland wasn't even on the map I had in my head. Fucking shit. Fucking shit. Did you get a chance to look at my book? No, it's right here though. It's right here. I got it from it. I got your book. It arrived way late. I've not. I'm rather busy. But I might just, because it's very thin, I might just look at it. Isn't English the secondary language in Ireland on paper? I don't know if that's true. That might be true, but I like. This is the problem. Is I like Ireland. I really do. I certainly like it a lot more than I like England. Fucking. It's funny. I mean, to be fair, half of Ireland isn't going to be on the British map soon. God damn. Is the new British world map is only Britain and like Northern Ireland. There are Irish regions where Gaelic is the primary language. See? Nobody speaks English in Ireland. It's all just hobbit speak. Fuck. I am very offensive. Damn. So I'm gonna give it 4 more minutes, and then I'm gonna end the stream. Then we'll have streamed for like 2 hours, and that'll be that. So throw in your last 4-minute questions. More people speak Polish than Irish here. Okay, I don't know if that's true. Yeah, this was a kind of a good stream. It's weird that this doesn't. I like doing these, but I don't feel like they do much. If I did these more often, right, it would become uninteresting very quickly, because most of the same questions would be repeated. No, they would not have to learn English. Most of the large military coalitions, English didn't have a language in common. An EU military would probably be a very standardized coalition answering to a single central command. That would organizationally make a lot of sense. Berger, do you think Kaliningrad will be part of Germany again? No. I don't think that's... No. What if the stream was purple? What? A death or taxes, what would you remove first? Death. I'm fine with taxes. You could even argue that several times across history, half or so of a European army has existed. True, but in those situations, they did often have a standardized language. But that's like in that point, you like go into territory where it's like, yes, this is technically true if you look at it this way, which is I think is a completely legitimate way of looking at history. But it's I'm not sure how useful the information you will extract from that is for the current political reality. If we generate power from stupidity, how long before we destroy reality? A minute, max. Berger, are you planning on doing any more short stories in the near future? Oh, I can't. No, I'm not. I wish the reason I did so many short stories in 2019 that I just completely burned out on doing them. And I used last year pretty much exclusively to focus on the novel, which I'm going to work on for a while now still, because I'm getting like the beta readers are back now, a lot of them at least. And yeah, and after that's done, I'm going to maybe get back to it, or just start a new novel. Because I'm going to try to sell this one. So I don't actually know if I'm going to get back to. I mean, I have a short story that I've been trying to sell, by which I mean it's just been sitting in on my computer and I've not sent it to anyone. Thoughts on Destiny Law? I don't know a lot about it, but it seems kind of cool. It seems like a little bit generic, but also in terms of like, I mean, it is unique, but it's generic in my personal experience, because I know a lot of settings like it. But it seems pretty fucking cool. Any future plans to run Tailspinner? I mean, there's I mean, if somebody wants to GM Tailspinner on my channel, I would absolutely be joining that as a player. That is something that I would definitely do if somebody decided to GM that system. Why is the tomatophone the best instrument? I don't know. Just found your channel. I'm really enjoying. Thanks for all the amazing content. Thank you, Solomon, for having found my channel and liking it. Looking forward to the novel. You're unironically my favorite writer. That feels. I mean, this is very good. I really like you saying that. I really appreciate it, and it's a huge compliment. And I believe it. But I know how shit my writing is. And it's not even like shit, but there's so many better writers out there. Which is this is a terrible response to someone going, oh, you're my favorite writer. And you just go, no, I'm not. You just have bad taste. It's a huge dick move to do that. So it's not true. I don't actually mean it. I'm just difficult. That particular compliment is very difficult for me to take. Okay, last questions and I'm through. What do you think of how Germany is being easy on China? I am not informed enough about this issue to have an opinion on it. I'll fucking do it. Do it, Heinzke, do it. I'm still working on overcoming my stage fright. Yeah, because, of course, the creator of Tailspinner was also going to run one, but my man has a bit of a stage fright, so it's yeah, I still believe that he can do it. How do you feel about visual novels? I've never really gotten into them. She not taking the story starts with sentient shrimp selling their souls to the worm gods and then fighting bird people. That's normal. Okay. In that case, that's gonna be the last question that I take, which wasn't even a question. So, thank you very much for hanging out with me on my birthday, because, obviously I couldn't party. I mean, I did, visit a friend today, and she had cake, and it was great. And I might, do something later in private, but, yeah. Actually, I will answer this question. Do you think it matters how you write, just that you do write? Actually, that is true, yes. I mean, it does matter if you want to be a professional writer that you also write in the, prose, but so long as you're writing, that's good. So thank you very much for watching this stream. I'm going to end the stream now, and I'm going to say, see you around, cunts. And I'm going to stay great.